Hello boys and girls, it's me, the Suited Gamer Guy, bringing my next preview/analysis video. This time it is off the PlayStation exclusive, The Last of Us, which will be released next month, and it was created by Naughty Dog. Personally, The Last of Us is my most anticipated game of 2013, the second being Watch Dogs, but that's a different video. In any case, personally I have already pre-ordered this, and am awaiting it very patiently. But yet I'm still very excited. In this video, you're going to learn facts, and you're going to learn things you already knew. You're going to learn my own theories, hypotheses, and just what I point out from the video. Now, just like my Watch Dogs video, I'm going to treat this video as though someone that's watching this could have absolutely no idea what The Last of Us is. So don't worry if you think you might not understand something, you're going to understand everything perfectly well. If you do have any questions though, please put in the comments and I will try my best to answer them. We are about to watch the extended edition of the gameplay demo that was released last year. This has 5 minutes that were not included in the original demo gameplay. All I have to say now is please sit back, relax, and watch my preview/analysis of The Last of Us.
Go! Go! Go!
This way! Did we lose him?
Yeah,
But we're not in the clear, right?
not while we're in this city.
Now, the first thing you'll probably want to know is the backstory to The Last of Us and how the environment has changed in this weird kind of way. Basically, it started with this infection. We are about to learn what this infection is and how it works. First, I'll explain how the cities have been overthrown with nature and all this grass stuff all around it where there really shouldn't be any. Well, basically, after the plague/infection had crossed the world, and it is still going, the less people there were, and people just went into hiding. People didn't use the city as they did before, and nature just started to take back Earth. People weren't there to cut their weeds or do the grasses with the lawnmower, so nature just took back the Earth. Now it's all rotten with grass and leaves and nature where there just shouldn't be any. So, before the events of The Last of Us, it is revealed that the bulk of humanity have been infected with what seems to be an invasive parasite similar in symptoms and effects to a cordyceps fungus. Ophiocordyceps unilateralis's is a fungus which is evidently involved with the cordyceps strain, the prime difference being that this strain infects either only human subjects or, as the etymology would suggest, any living host available. The other main difference is that instead of directing the host into a convenient spot for the fungus to grow and spread spores to the new hosts, the Ophiocordyceps unilateralis would direct them into harm's way in a classic zombie-like quest to destroy uninfected individuals. As with many details about the fungus, it is unclear whether this makes an infection of new hosts easier, or if it is simply a byproduct of overloading the human brain, or degenerating it into a primal state. The subject can only be infected alive, contrary to other survival horror games such as Dead Space, where the host is required to be dead. The usage of gas masks by survivors is present in the game, due to the fact that the fungus spreads by airborne spores which, upon entering a human's lungs, can infect them.
I don't see anything.
Come on.
Hey, there's another one. Posters are everywhere.
I saw this right before the outbreak.
Now I know what you're probably wondering. Who the hell are these two people? Well, these two people are the very main characters, and we're about to learn a lot more about them. So let's just start, shall we? First up, we have Joel. He's voiced and motion captured by Troy Baker. He is a ruthless survivor of the plague that has decimated mankind. Little is known regarding Joel's life preceding the plague, although it is suggested that he maintained a normal, mostly prosaic lifestyle that wasn't so different from the majority of other Americans living at that time. In the teaser trailer, we see him lamenting over the loss of such luxuries, but he is also quick to accept it. The plague began sometime when Joel was around his early 20s, 20 years after the initial plague that eliminated millions of people across the United States. Joel is known as a man who runs drugs and weapons for the quarantine zone in Boston. At some point, he also becomes acquainted with a woman known as Tess, who maintains the underground market of the local Boston area and specializes in contraband. The two appear to work with each other frequently. They've seemed to retain a respectful alliance by the start of the game. Joel has been described as a violent thug, a brutal killer, and a torturer. Described as being in his late 40s, Joel knows what the world looked like before it was devastated. Over time, he's begun to become less bound by morality and more bound by doing whatever is necessary to survive. Next up is Ellie. She is voiced and motion captured by Ashley Johnson. She is a 14-year-old teenage girl who, despite her age, is wise and mature beyond her years. Ellie is a 14-year-old orphan who grew up in an oppressive military quarantine zone in Boston, Massachusetts. Ellie was born 6 years after the fungal pandemic spread, and has no knowledge of the world prior to the incident. All she knows is that Joel is her savior and her last chance for redemption. Having been raised in an environment where most standards and values have been deteriorated, Ellie is considerably rash, impulsive, and temperamental, and doesn't faze at the notion of using violence as a means to an end, or vulgar words as a way of expressing how she feels. At the same time, however, she maintains a particular innocence in how she still has yet to see the darkest sides of human nature, and retains a susceptible trust in people that she hasn't yet lost, and serves as the juxtaposition to Joel's wary, morose outlook on life. In addition, Ellie is also very clever and will do whatever it takes to keep Joel and herself alive. She takes orders from Joel as well, but at the same time doesn't need any babysitting at all. She has a scar on her right eyebrow, though it is currently unknown when, where, or how she obtained it. Ellie is obsessed with culture from the past, including music, movies, and books.
You did? Does he totally gut her by the end?
Nobody gets gutted. It's a dumb teen movie.
Who dragged you to see it then?
I don't know. Let's just stay focused, all right?
All right.
Right there we saw an interaction with Joel and Ellie talking about something that basically the player has interacted with. I kind of compare this to Alan Wake, where there was multiple things throughout the world in the game, and you can click on them and inspect them a bit more with some history behind it. I think basically in this game you'll be able to look at things and discuss it between yourself and Ellie. And I'd just like to say the voice acting and animations look superb. The conversation with Ellie and Joel feels really realistic in a way that feels like an organic and real conversation. Something that normal people would have, and not something that's forced upon the characters.
This is fancy. You ever stay at a place like this?
May I just say, the graphics in this game just look superb.
No, this is
And
too rich
one
for my
main
blood.
thing is that they got water rights. The water looks realistic. It looks muddy because there's nature everywhere, so it would be muddy. But, you know, the reaction with Ellie and Joel
we outta
walking
here?
into it feels realistic. Kind of like Uncharted, how that was really realistic. But in this, it feels a bit more realistic, and just looks superb. The graphics are outstanding for a PS3 game, and I just can't wait for it to come out.
We could use that ladder.
Ah, here we see the
You
outlined
give me
ladder
that, and I
of
can
the
get
yellow
that.
outline. Now this was added in the extended edition and was not in the normal edition of the demo.
See what you can find.
Now I'm thinking Naughty Dog may have added this in simply so the player wouldn't get lost and wouldn't know what to do. So basically when you're looking upon an item that is important that you need to use to get to a different location, or that you can just interact with that will be outlined with yellow. We have seen this previously with
Ellie,
the point of interest
find
that the two
anything?
characters were talking about that I was talking about before. Now, you may like this idea, you may not like this idea, this might be a thing to turn on and off, but this is basically here for a guideline to help you around the world so you just basically don't get frustrated and don't know where to go.
Now this'll do. Come here, I'll give you a boost.
Now here's a good example of good animation between Ellie and Joel. Here we have Joel basically boosting up Ellie, which I have to say is a really realistic animation. And a nice touch is when Ellie is trying to boost up and climbing up the wall that she knocks over the sign a bit and is starting to swivel around. Just nice touches. And here we see Ellie being useful, not being just there. She's actually getting a ladder down for us so that we can proceed through the game. So she's not just useless after all, she's actually a good help in the game, well, at least so far.
I'm on it.
I'm just going to point out that the sound quality of this game sounds really good, with even really good ambient sounds. If you listen really closely, you can hear the chirps of nature and birds, like it would in real life. It's not all just dead silence, everything's alive, or dead, or whatever. Something that is very standing out in this is that there is no HUD while you're not in like any action, not really shooting or sneaking anyway. When you're just basically jumping and platforming, there's no HUD, which is a really nice touch because I really don't want a big HUD for my gun when I'm just leaping over things and jumping places. So I think that's a really nice thing, and it gives you more immersive in the experience.
Get down, get down.
Put them down.
Where?
How many is that now?
Should we go around them?
Hey, I'm not complaining.
The transition from standing and walking around and crouching and sneaking is very smooth, and it's not just instant like that. Also, the animation when your hand's against the wall right next to it is a very nice touch, when in normal games it's usually just you're crouching right next to it. Also, as we heard before, Ellie was talking to Joel. She does actually give us some advice sometimes throughout the game when we're talking, and even later on the enemies can even help us. Right there we just saw a mechanic that was in Hitman Absolution, if you remember, where you can throw objects on the ground like empty bottles to distract enemies. And also you can see later, you can also use it just to bash people on the heads.
What was that? Nothing. Rats asleep.
Now here's something I really like, is that when Joel threw that bottle, it's not just like one enemy went to it. Yeah, one enemy went to it in the first place, but then the other enemy went to it after to say, you know, what's going on? What was that? I mean, in a lot of games it's like only one enemy goes there, the rest are like, mate, you do it. Like in that solution where every other guy was like, yeah, I'll just stand here. So that could be something like, if make it a bit harder if you use a distraction and then take someone out, because the second person might hear it and come investigate.
A fucking word.
Now here, it's not really new that you can grab someone and put a gun to their face, but something I'm really liking is the animation and emotion from the enemy while you're holding them. You can hear gasps and kind of a bit of terror in the enemy's eyes, as you hear Joel just say, shut up and don't talk, where in other games it'll be pretty much plain and no emotion. Also, the animation is quite superb, and the finishing move to kill him was not just a quick thing, but was realistically how you would probably choke someone to death. If you can see at the top left corner, we did just see the HUD. Now, we did have 4 bullets in our gun. Now, this game isn't forcing you to stealth, and it's not forcing you to use action. But something here is something good in a survival game, where there's not bullets lying everywhere in this game that I can tell, because simply he only has 4 bullets. So basically, yeah, sure, you can shoot everyone there, but you'll be wasting 2 or maybe even more bullets on them, where you could use them later. This reminds me of a game called I Am Alive, where you really had to use bullets when you really needed to, because they were really rare, and they did the most damage out of everything. And anyway, I really do love this system, and to people that really just want to action it all, be very careful.
A lot of people is better than letting 100 infected do it for them. Trust me. It ain't easy. Take a look around. See if you find anything useful.
As we look around the environment inside the building, it looks like realistically how a building would be after years of no one taking care of it. Nature's found its way inside buildings, wallpaper's getting torn, there's piss everywhere, the mattresses are all taken away, there's laundry lying there. Throughout the hallways, it's not like everything's perfect, there's a lot of things broken, and of course there's people that's still looting throughout the place.
Alright, search these rooms.
Okay. Hang back.
Now, as we just saw there, Joel did say to Ellie, hang back. Not being stay there. But basically what we're going to see is Ellie's not going to get in the way at all. This isn't some kind of babysitting mission. This isn't some kind of make sure she doesn't get spotted. She's not going to get in the way.
Oh shit!
And may I just add here, the sound quality of the guns is really good. And I have to say, is when the enemy found out that you just hit someone in the head and killed them, that was really cool. I mean, he was just like, oh crap! He wasn't shooting straight away, he was going back for cover. And here we are, that the enemies are talking to each other and saying their kind of strategy. Oh, he's at the door, we should shoot at the door. Oh, we should go around him. This is also helping you, telling you what they're going to be doing, telling you what they're thinking. Something that realistically, not just in games, that the character uses and talks to the characters, the enemies talk to each other as well. Now, may I just add, did Ellie get in the way at all? No, she didn't. And we did just hear the guy say, go around. So that is telling us, yet again, that their strategy is to go around, which they just did. They're not lying, they're going around. Also, there's a nice transition from shooting them to becoming stealth again. And also we can see here that healing with Joel is a bandage and takes time to heal, so you better not do it while in the middle of a fight. So basically, you can go from action straight to stealth if you get away from them easily, and it's a very nice transition.
Joel, over there.
Nice one, thanks Ellie. Yet again, she's telling us something that's nice to know. May I just add that bottles that, yes, you are able to throw and use as destruction, you can use as a kind of knockback. And also the animation for knocking them, yes, you do activate using melee and bashing their skulls out of their brains, but it does feel really smooth transitioning to it. It even feels like it's part of CGI, which it isn't. Now here we're like playing cat and mouse kind of game, where before you were the guy using stealth trying to hide away from him, now the enemy's trying to hide away from you, which is really good. It's not really like that in any other game, where the enemy's trying to hide away from you, they're scared, you just killed all their friends. Now here Joe is looking for him, and also the enemy's trying to sneak up behind him, probably take him by surprise and kill him like you were just about to do. And now Joel's got him! And also here we can see that enemies are just going to rush him with nothing left to lose. They're going to use Molotovs, and basically the death with fire looks amazing.
Ellie!
I'm here. Right here. Oh, God.
I know, come on, let's just get a move on.
May I just add that was just a tiny segment with only like 4 enemies, and we're already getting good voice acting from both characters like this was some kind of key event in the game. This was just a random fight. I mean, we're getting things like, oh god, there's a body, oh, emotion from characters.
Through here.
The kind of things you would get in a main thing, in a main event in a game where it's scripted to have this kind of thing, but I don't think these things are scripted. They're randomly going to say, oh god, at the end of a fight, reassure each other, give plans to each other. It's really nice detail and just feels more immersive to the player.
I think we should be able to make it through there. It's gonna be a tight fit, but come on.
Okay.
You find me something to climb on. Okay, here we go.
May I just add that after taking a bit of damage, Joel's nose is now all bloody. This isn't coming just scripted like, this is because he took damage. Very nice detail that added to the game. Very nice.
Joel!
I'm alright! Are you okay?
No! You scared the shit out of me! I'm gonna climb down there, okay?
No! Stay out there! I'll make my way up to you!
Don't do anything stupid!
I'll try.
PlayStation.
Now here's some information that I wasn't able to discuss from the demo. Firstly, this game is developed by Naughty Dog and it is published by Sony Computer Entertainment, and as a reminder, this is a PS3 exclusive. This will not be on PS4, this won't be on any Xbox products, and it will not be on PC or Wii U. The directors of this game is Neil Druckmann, and the creative director is Bruce Stanley. The composer is Gustavo Santaolalla. Sorry if I said that wrong, I can't read Spanish a lot. The engine used is the in-house engine and the Havok physics engine. The release date for this is June 14th, 2013, just 1 month away. The genres that this game is put at is action, adventure, and survivor horror. They should also put in stealth, because we did see a lot of stealth in this game. This game does use single player, as we just saw, but it also has a multiplayer component. Now, people were complaining, multiplayer? Why do we need multiplayer? Naughty Dog has reassured us that the multiplayer will not affect the single player in any way, and it did not make the single player's efforts any less. There is DLC for multiplayer, so it's going to be the kind of thing that's kind of like, I think Uncharted multiplayer will be probably what it will be. That kind of thing. The game has already won 25 awards without being released, with awards like Most Anticipated, Best at E3, and basically Best Exclusive. Throughout the entirety of the game, you will only be playing as Joel. Ellie is yet again just there beside you the entire way, or at least most of the way. Now, I'm going to involve myself again with this, because a lot of people are so worried about this. This is not a babysitting game. Ellie is not the kind of AI that is completely stupid. We're not talking about Resident Evil AI here, we're talking about really, really good AI. She's like, think of Bioshock Infinite's AI. Elizabeth did not get in the way at all, and she was an immense help in your adventure. In this game, it's going to be the same thing. We just saw Ellie was actually really helpful. Not in a physical way by giving you bullets or stuff, with information and a good character. She gave you information like, oh, that guy's going there. Oh, check that out. Oh, look over there. She also just gave us a little more understanding of the story as well. And Ellie does not get in any kind of trouble at all. People don't spot her. But in a realistic way, it's not like she's right in front of their faces and they're like, no, I don't see nothing. She's behind cover. She's not being an idiot. Now, here's my personal preview. Now, as you know, this is my most anticipated game of 2013. I have been anticipating this since this time, basically, I think last year. I made a video about it on my previous account. And man, I just can't wait for it. I think the graphics look stunning for a PS3. But it feels like one of the greatest send-offs to the current gen console. It looks stunning. The sound quality, I didn't mention it a lot, but the sound quality was amazing. Like the guns, sound quality was amazing. You know, previewing Watch Dogs and this game makes me feel like games are becoming just so much better and so much more realistic with better audio and visuals. Also, I really love that animation. That animation is the best animation I've seen in gaming history. Not maybe history, but it's really one of the best animations I've ever seen. I mean, it just looks so natural. I mean, with some games, even something is just so sudden or instant or just doesn't feel like a smooth motion. In this game, everything feels smooth, from standing to crouching to shooting a gun. The enemies feel really realistic with their animations. They're not just standing there, go fire, 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 or just get to cover. They're like, oh crap, I just saw him! Start walking backwards, start shooting blindly, then get to cover, start talking with their friends. The AI in this game looks really good. They're talking with each other. They're actually doing what they're saying they're going to do. It just looks amazing. I just have to say that. This game doesn't look like another zombie game. It's not a zombie game. In fact, there's no zombies. These infectees, people say, look really weird if you see them in the other videos. And it's not just about them. It's about also the people that are left. Yet again, like a game I know that is called I Am Alive. There's no zombies, it's about the humans. But in this case, in this game, it's about a mix of both. Now, you haven't seen it in this video, but you have your backpack and you can put things in your backpack and you can bind things like you have an empty bottle, or a full bottle, and a cloth, and a lighter. You combine all those three, you can have a Molotov. That's really good. That's crafting right there. I have to say, this previewing this game, I give it a 10 out of 10. I am that pumped for it. I am that pumped for it. And I've already pre-ordered it. Please go pre-order it yourself. It just looks so good. And the voice acting looks just amazing. Like, I really love the voice acting, even for the enemies. The enemies look really good in voice acting. There's not a lot of problems with this game. If there is, I haven't seen them. It just looks good, just amazingly. Maybe one of the best games of the last 5 years. One of the best games. Might be my GOTY of the year. I don't know, but it looks like it's going to be. And there's going to be multiplayer. Even more reason to get this game. I don't know what the multiplayer is. It could just be Attack On. But the fact is, the Uncharted multiplayer wasn't really Attack On. It was really actually good, but no one plays it anymore. But I'm sensing a lot of people are going to get this game, so you should too. You should go pre-order this game right now and get one of the editions. Okay, so now that we've gone through that, I have to tell you something. I'll tell you after about YouTube. Something about YouTube is that there's liking. You know, just like this video. There's a big thumbs up there. It just takes you 2 seconds. Just go like there. The more likes I get, the more popular this video can get. The more popular this video can get, the more chance people can view it when they're searching this kind of thing. So please like it, and you'll just help me just so much more. Also, commenting does the same thing. If you comment, it gets more popular. If it gets more popular, it gets more views. Commenting gets it more often on searches. So comment anything. Comment what you're going to get for the game, if you're going to get the game. What addition you got from the game, what you're just so excited for the game. Just say, YOLO, I really can't wait for this game. Ask me any questions. Ask me anything you want. I can try and answer it for you. And also don't forget to subscribe, man, so you can see more previews, reviews, gaming videos, and also don't forget to check out my group channel that I don't own the thing, but I'm part of it, called Farencius Gaming. It will be in the description, as well as my Farencius Gaming cohorts, which are really good. Just go check out those channels. If you really like this video, please go watch my Watch Dogs preview / analysis trailer, where I preview / analysis Watch Dogs, the game coming out for PS4, PS3, all those systems, you know. In any case, this has been the Suited Gamer Guy, and peace out.